E-pay systems, a little box you hang on a wall, time and attendance for dispersed workers. Inside the box is a cell phone, printer, card swipe, and a fingerprint reader. So you can't cheat on checking in. Your buddy can't check you in. You've got to use your fingerprint. At the end of the week, for these kinds of workforces that are like security guards and janitorial services and things, a lot of them are unbanked. So what you have is a little stored value card. You swipe it. The pay goes right on the card. By law, you have to give people a printout of their pay tax withholdings, and so it prints that out. And importantly, and why the thing sells, is because the cell phone inside automatically beams up all of the check-in data to the supervisors running around in little cars at night trying to figure out who showed up and who didn't. Tremendous little company. We've learned more stuff out of actually having to do it than I ever learned in 20 years of studying it and advising it. And what we've learned is what those all other companies know, which is core to all of it, is bootstrapping. Start small, learn fast, build a base where you get to cash positive, and then stop and look around and say, where do we go next? Don't shoot the moon. We wouldn't start a business we didn't think could become a $100 million business, but we certainly don't start with a $100 million plan. In fact, we don't even start with a plan at all. I'll show you in a bit how we started. All in all, across the portfolio, we've got about 3,000 employees now, right, across all the businesses. Okay. Here's what we've learned in a nutshell about growth. We've learned that strategy matters, but only a little. And this is a big comeuppance for somebody who spent his entire career as a strategist. Strategy is a little piece. The piece it is that's important is setting direction as to where to find an abundance of growth opportunities. It's sort of, if you will, what strategy does for you is it identifies pools of opportunity and tells you what you have to do to make sure you get the wind at your back, because you don't want to fight a headwind. What strategy doesn't do is give you a blueprint for how to go execute. That is a complete fallacy. The details will never come out of strategy. To get the details, you have to have an innovation process that rapidly figures that stuff out in real contact with the marketplace. Right? So how do we balance planning and analysis with trial and error? And between those two, I'll take trial and error. So I'll give you one of my tests for the young men and women that join in these ventures that we do. One of my most important tests of who I want is I want people that when they meet a challenge in the business we're trying to launch, their instinct is not to analyze. Their instinct is to go ask someone who knows more than they do. It's to reach out and suck in what experience and knowledge and skill they can get from others. And the better school you went to and the smarter you were and the further higher up on the class you are, the worse venture person you make. Because all your instincts are, I can figure this out. It's like, no, no, no. People have already figured this out. You just don't know anything because you're 23. Go ask people. Because lots of people have lots of the answers. And that's another version of how to get the details right. You won't get them through analysis.